What's up, math scholars and math haters? This is Mr. W. Today we're going to tackle question 3 in the 6th grade math questions that North Carolina released this past school year. We can see that we're being asked to just say which expression is equivalent to 25x minus 10y. And so in order to do a question like this, we can actually do this in one of two ways. The first way involves factoring the expression, and the second way involves using the distributive property to try each of the answer choices. So I'll do it the first way first. If I want to factor an expression, the first thing I'm going to do is ignore these variables. And I just want to focus on my numbers. So in this case, 25 and 10. Now I want to look for what's called the GCF, or greatest common factor of these numbers. Basically, if I break these numbers down into what multiplies to them, what's the biggest number that is a factor of both of them? Now I know that 25 equals 5 times 5. I know 10 equals 2 times 5. The only number that these have in common is just 5. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at 25, I'm going to look at 10, and I'm going to divide them both by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So now I have a whole bunch of puzzle pieces that I just need to put together into a new expression. Since 5 was my greatest common factor, 5 is essentially moving out, and it's living outside this set of parentheses. Inside the set of parentheses, I'm going to bring back my variables now, and it's going to be something times x, and because 25 divided by this number outside the parentheses gave us 5, our first number is going to be 5x. I saw a minus sign here. I'm going to keep that. And then when I see 10y, I already know that 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So 10 divided by 5 equals 2. I keep my y there. I close my parentheses. And now I'm going to look for whatever answer choice matches this. And you might have already seen that it's choice A. So what's the other way I could have done this? Well, to do that, first thing I'm going to do is actually erase all this work that I've done. So if you want to hold on to this in your head or on paper or whatever, go ahead and pause this, because it's going to cut to an almost blank paper. So my workspace is blank once again, because I'm going to talk about how we're going to use the distributive property to try out each of our answer choices. The basic idea of the distributive property is that it's the opposite of doing this factoring process. What I'm going to do is if I see 5 and it's multiplied by a set of parentheses with some stuff inside that's being added or subtracted, I need to multiply it by my first thing and my second thing. And if there were 3 things, I would have to multiply it by my third thing as well, and so on and so on. But the idea is, I would do 5 times 5x. 5 times 5 is just 25. I keep my x. 5 times minus 2 would give me minus 10, and I keep my y. And that's how I would distribute this. Just multiply my 5 by each of the things inside that I'm adding or subtracting. And incidentally, choice A actually matches this equivalent expression that I was looking for in the first place, but I'm going to go ahead and do another one. In fact, I'll do C, because C is the trick answer. C, if I were to use the distributive property, I would do 5 times 20, which is 100. I keep my x. 5 times negative 5, or 5 times minus 5 would be minus 25. I keep my y. This is clearly not my answer, but what North Carolina is looking for you to do is try this trial and error thing, but then forget how to do the distributive property. Because let's say you didn't multiply, you just added. You said, all right, I do 5 plus 20, and then I do 5 plus 5. 5 plus 20 is 25. 5 plus 5 is 10. This would give me 25 minus 10, or 25x minus 10y, and that matches this. But of course, this would not be the right answer. This is the trick answer that they throw in there. And the higher you get in math, the more opportunities there are for trick answers that the people who make these questions just love to sprinkle into these multiple choice questions. So our answer is A.